Are you in recruiting and looking to improve your communication skills so you don't look like a fool? Check out this video right now. I'm going to show you 5 ways to improve your communication skills. Welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brandon Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you have not seen this channel before, it's all about upping your game in the recruiting industry because it's time for you to be the next Millionaire Recruiter. So here goes. So communication in recruiting is crucial. If you don't have it, you're not going to survive. It's getting harder and harder. So you need to up your game and you don't want to look a fool. So first things first is there are 3 types of communications. There's verbal, nonverbal, and then there's written. Naturally, written is crucial for recruiters, but this video is going to go into just generalizing just 5 ways you can really up your communication because this takes a lot of work. And there's just a whole can of worms and rabbit holes that we can go down. And I really do think that when we're talking about written communication, it should be more of on a share screen. So I will definitely hit you with that video soon. So definitely subscribe and you will know exactly when that video is coming out. First things first, listen to understand. What were you just thinking about right now? Were you telling me, Brandon, can you get to it? That means if you're talking to yourself up here, you're not actually listening. A lot of people listen to respond. Can't really do that. At the same time, though, you can't be afraid to speak up and share your own thoughts. Now, you don't want to interrupt the person. So a great tip here is I always have my notepad in front of me. That is real. And, or if you're rocking it on the computer, do what you want. But the moment that I have like this, I have to say this in this conversation, I write it down really quickly so I don't forget it. And even in the conversation, I'd be like, oh, wait, hold on. I wrote down a note I need to talk to you about. Because it shows that you're really engaged and you're actually paying attention and you want to understand what they're saying and you want to then make strides in your relationship and whatever you're trying to accomplish is going to get accomplished. So number 2, be self-aware. This is like life lesson numero uno. Do you appear like engaged? Or are you looking away, typing away and not telling them like you're actually typing to like take notes? So if you are typing to take notes, please let them know. Because if I'm talking to someone like on a Zoom or in a meeting or whether you're in person or remote, and I see someone just typing away, I'm of course thinking that they're not paying attention to me. Where you might be very actively paying attention and you want to take notes. So just let them know. Another thing is, are you dominating the conversation? Oh my gosh, this kills me. This happens a lot. Here's the thing. Recruiters, we like to chat. We like to talk things through. That's our job, right? However, our job is also to understand a problem so we can solve it really quickly. Another thing, if you're being self-aware, is are you staying on topic? I'm like the worst person to talk about this because I tangent all the time. But there are moments you really need to make sure, like, look, I am not steering this meeting differently. I'm still talking about what needs to get done, because the worst thing is when you leave a meeting, you were like, I was just supposed to talk about this and we didn't talk about that at all. You got to think the other person's thinking the same thing and they're very frustrated because it's a waste of time and essentially it's disrespectful. So please be self-aware on your actions during a conversation. Now, number 3. You're going to recap a conversation. This also goes to your active listening skills. So lots of times, again, when someone's trying to tell you something, you are going to naturally process and interpret how you feel. What they're saying is what they mean. But lots of times what people say is not what they mean. So you just want to have a real, like in between, I don't wait the whole conversation to recap. It just depends on what the subject is. But basically I'm going to say, okay, so what I heard you say really quickly was X, Y, Z, and here's my action item. Is that right? Crucial action item. I hope you wrote that down. What is my action item today? And number 4, you have to be brief and clear. So having a very concise, context-filled conversation is really important. Now, again, this is something that happens, I think, with people that you just work really well with a lot, or even maybe your significant others, family members, people you're generally close to, is you can have a conversation and lack context. because you just are on the same wavelength. You know what you're kind of talking about. But there are some times where you're like, I'm sorry, can you please recap me as to what we're talking about here? Now, that works when you have a great relationship. But if you don't, context is just so important. So you have to state what you're talking about, why you're talking about it, and then again, ask any kind of questions. And then if you are nervous, so depending on the conversation, recruiters, you are working with all type of levels, which is exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking. So if you are talking to a boss or a much higher up and you're just super nervous, write it down, write just bullet points down as to what you're actually trying to accomplish, the goodies that you have to get clear, and then the questions that you needed to know. And it just, again, helps move things very quickly. Now, the fifth, and definitely not the last way to improve communication, because again, this is a giant conversation in so many different angles, but have a friendly tone. Should I say that again? Have a friendly tone. This is something that a lot of people don't pay that much attention to. I know this could go back to number 2, which is be self-aware. But yeah, you do have to be self-aware if you have a friendly tone or not. And I know things can get heated, or I know you can get really passionate about something, but even via email communication or LinkedIn, it's like, if you're not having a friendly tone, you're losing that person. So I have been in meetings before where someone kind of, and they were just passionate and they just spoke loudly, right? But it wasn't a very friendly tone. And I could look around the room and I could see shutting down, shutting down, shutting down. So I like to say that one of my geniuses is that I'm tone deaf. And the reason being is because I have come across so many brilliant, great individuals that I've worked with that have not had a friendly tone. So I've just decided, okay, I'm going to work on how I am interpreting that and really paying attention to just what they say, not how they say it. However, if you're going to improve your communication skills and you're going to actually have a high position, you're going to be a leader, you have to have that tone that people are going to appreciate and actually listen to. Because again, if people shut down, they're not hearing you. Therefore, how are you communicating? You're not. So, you recruiters, you wonderful people in TA, what do you feel you just communicate on really, really well? You're like, nailed that. I am the best communicator because of XYZ. I want to hear it because I definitely left out tons of tips and tricks for improving your communication because I just wanted to pick 5. Why did I want to pick 5? Attention span. Remember I said be brief and be clear? Be self-aware. People are only going to listen and pay attention and absorb so long. So I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And actually, I would love to hear a horror story or 2. I feel like every time I ask for a horror story, no one shares. Share me a good one. I will see you every Thursday at noon. And I was just thinking, how did that 30-day challenge go? Do we have a winner yet? It's coming up. We'll be posting that soon. And again, please like, subscribe, share some love. I have been enjoying, just the communications I've had via the comments. I'm getting really good on those. I'm doing that time because I have reached this moment in my career that being a coach and mentor is one of the ones that actually gets me even more exciting than sourcing. Okay, I don't know about that. I love sourcing. All right. Thanks so much. Like and subscribe. I will see you every Thursday at noon.